Okay.
It's just us, the team members of Team Aspire, and we're just waiting for Twinkle Ma'am to join us. Swayam, will she be joining us?
No, she haven't replied yet. I guess we should proceed with.
Okay, so we'll be proceeding. So, hi, sir. At first, I'd
Yeah.
like to thank you for joining us and providing us your precious time from your hectic day. And so, firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Priyarani Borgohain, a student, also a member of Team Aspire. And we have our other team members as well. We have our team leader, Swayam, and we have Hitati and Dhruv. So, as we know, we'll be chatting. We'll be chatting with Sir about his views on sustainable resources and solar power. And so, Ajit Sir, the guest speaker, who is also known as the Robot Man of India, CEO of Think Again Lab and mentor of NASA's Space Challenge app. Uh, So I'll be putting the first question. What motivated you to create humanoid robots, and what was the inspiration for Annapurna?
Okay. So, let me talk about thinking and lab first. Then I will get into that stuff. So,
Right.
you are working on sustainable technologies, and that's what actually the beginning of thinking and lab. We work with a very innovative concept called techno spirituality. So, for example, what is techno spirituality? I'm explaining that stuff. Like you are working with solar energy, right? So, in case of technology, we will always try to create something artificial, right? We want to create batteries, we want to create sensors that is artificial. But in terms of Nikola Tesla, I'm great fan of Nikola Tesla. He talk about free energy, right? Like if we actually know how to cultivate energy and the resources directly from the nature, we don't need to create artificial things. And why we don't need to create artificial things? Because we have seen that whatever technology we are creating today, we have to come up with a technology that can actually eradicate the pollutions we are creating through that particular technology, right? So in that regard, if we think about in the terms of Nikola Tesla, if we know how to cultivate the free energy, we can create sustainable technologies that will not create pollutions. Because if we can cultivate energy directly from the resources, directly from the nature, there will be no residue, right? So that was the beginning of thinking in lab, where we trying to create not only energy, but we are trying to get the algorithms from the nature and try to incorporate those things into the technology, right? And the reason behind it, because if you see, like we Indians in last few decades, we become the user of technologies. The people outside of India is building technologies, getting the patents, and after 10 years, 15 years, that is reaching India, and we are becoming the users of those technologies rather than the creators of the technologies. But if you think about 100 200 years back, we were the leaders of creating technologies, because at that point of time we were actually working on sustainable technologies. We are working on technologies that is related to life, right? And the inspiration to create think again lab is to bring back those particular type of education and learning, through which a student in their very early days can actually build up their character in such a way that they don't think about a job. They can think about certain things out of the syllabus and think about creating technology rather than understanding the existing technology and learning about those things, right? So that's the first thing. And I would like to congratulate you that you are working on the solar energy sustainable technologies, because that's the future. If we cannot get into that stuff, we all know that all the resources of energy is very much limited, and we cannot sustain with those things. So the people like you who are actually trying to create certain things in this natural resources or sustainable resources, that is very much important for today's world. The second thing is the question that you have asked, that what inspired me to create Annapurna. Like when I was I have started my company 10 years back. I actually started from sleeping on the roads, building up a startup and all those kind of stuff. So after creating my startup, I didn't have much resources, much people, much infrastructure. At that point of time, we got a project from a client who was looking for a people who can actually automate the kitchen to customer process in Horeka chain, hotel, restaurant, cafe chain. there are two processes. One is customer to kitchen, placing the order, and the another process is kitchen to customer, the delivery of the foods, right? So they have already automated the first process, placing the order through QR codes, and they're looking for a automation so that they can automate the second process, the kitchen to customer process, right, delivering the foods. So they have came up with different kind of things like the creating a rail line through which they can send different kind of rail kind of like robots or something like that, or maybe drone, or maybe something through a like a lift or something like that. But I thought that it's not a feasible idea. So like, as because you are starting with innovations and entrepreneurship, it's not about only creating a new thing. When we are creating or doing the R&D about a new thing, we have to think about few components that actually make it an innovation. The first one is feasibility, that whether it's possible to create it or not, whether people can afford it or not, whether people need it or not, right? Because even if you are creating an absolutely new thing but people cannot afford it or people don't need it, that's not an innovation, because that's not going to solve a problem in a large scale, right? So I came up with the idea that we can build up a robot, a robot, semi-humanoid robot, that can move to different tables with the orders and put those orders over there. So when we got that project, the client was not that much confident on us, because we are like 1.5 years company at that point of time. We didn't have infrastructure, didn't have anything that we have built prior or something like that, which can give them the trust or something like that. So I thought of contacting with few companies who are already working on this domain, who are already building up robots or something like that, so that we can get a head start, that where we can start, in which way direction we can move forward or something like that. But at that point of time, I connected with a director of sales of that particular company of different country, who actually building up this kind of semi-humanoid robots. But when I asked her that, ma'am, can I get a head start on this particular project? Can I get a mentorship from you or something like that? Like, you are looking mentorship from me, I was looking mentorship from them. So she said, and I'm quoting, that you Indians are consumers, not producers. Like, you can only use our products, you can buy our products, you can manufacture our products, but you cannot create or you cannot build up anything in India without a help or something like that. So that was my inspiration to build up Annapurna. At that point of time, I was confused that whether I should build up this project or not. But right now, I'm very much confident that I have to build up this thing, because it's not about a product. It's about a country. It's about the history of that country, who have given you Zero, who have given you Satyendra Nath Bose, who have given you Jagdish Chandra Bose. And if you're thinking that these things don't proportional with innovations, and you guys can be better innovator than us, that you have to understand that innovation started from us. So it's our duty that we have to regain that particular stature in our society and become an innovator again in as a country. So I told that lady that give me 5 months, ma'am. Sorry, 6 months. I will come up with a robot that is eventually as good as yours, and without, not only you, without anybody's help. So staying in West Bengal, staying in Kolkata, without anybody's help, with the indigenous technologies available in Kolkata, we have created first Eastern India's first semi-humanoid robot Annapurna. That was featured in Dadagiri with Saurabh Ganguly. That was went to several government events, inspired so many people like you who are doing innovations to come up with their own ideas and build up certain things. So that's how we have started with Annapurna.
Thank you so much, sir. That was such a wonderful and inspirational answer. How you took stand for your own country and the people. Sir, our team members have some questions for you as well. Team, please proceed.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on India's positioning in global solar energy innovation? And where do you see the next big breakthrough?
Okay. So, for this reason, we have to go 180 years back to understand what, as a country where we are positioning ourselves in the trendy technologies, not only solar, quantum, AI. There are lots of technologies. Solar is one of them. So the thing is, you have to understand why British people came to India. why they colonize us. There are so many countries, so many continents, still why they have to come so far to India as a small country. Those are not that much advanced in technology, still they have conquered us, they have ruled for 180 years. What is the motive of that? So before they actually conquer India, they have started as a company, East India Company in India, right? And they have done a market research that what they can actually sell in India. So if you actually go and read that report, they are saying that this is the only country in the whole world who is self-sustainable. They don't need anything from outside. They have everything of their own. So our first and foremost criteria that we have to make them believe that their products and their solutions is inferior than us. Then only we can sell our products to them, right? For example, I'm telling you, today Akshay Kumar Vidya Balan is coming to your toilets and asking that whether you have salt in your toothpaste or not. But if you go back 180 years back, we actually had it. We actually use salts, ash, and all those kind of stuff for doing the toothpaste as a thing. But they told that that is bad. They came up with paste, and after 180 years, they're asking whether we have salt in our paste or not, right? So that's how they have let us believe that our things are inferior, right? So India, not only today, India was always a very cream place for any kind of trendy technologies because of three things. For technology, you need, first of all, you need place to build up your factories where you can produce your products. Second, you need a market where you can sell this product. Third, you need laborers who can actually work in your factories to build up these products. For these three things, India was a superpower, India is a superpower, and India will be a superpower, right? Because people think that our popularity, our population is a negative thing to us. But if you think in a very positive manner, if we have 150 crore mouths to eat, we have 300 crores hands to work, right? So that's our superpower, not only for solar, any kind of technologies. Now if you think about intellectual property and intellects of the people, that all the big corporates are getting run by Indians, right? Because we have that kind of genes, we have that kind of upbringing where we know how to do certain things at 5 rupees that people don't know how to do at 50 rupees, right? We have scarcity, and scarcity is always the mother of invention. If we don't have necessity, we cannot go and start to make certain new things. Like few days ago, I was seeing a reels of Javed Akhtar. He was saying that creativity is always from abnormal people. If you're normal, if you're satisfied with the surroundings of yourself, you can never think of creativity, because the people who are creative, they are not satisfied with the existing things. So that's why they have come up with new things that can actually satisfy their own self and own thought process or something like that. So in that regard, not only for solar, for all the trendy technologies we know, quantum, AI, solar, and all this kind of stuff, India is a cream place. India is one of the heavenly place for all the corporates from India, from outside of India, right? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And we are very proud to be Indian, sir.
Absolutely, we have to be,
Yes, sir.
like, for an example, I'm just giving a very small stats. The population of US is 33 crore, right? And our population is 150 crore, and we have 34 crore students only. So the student population of India is equals to the whole population of US. So that's our superpower. Just we need to figure out how to direct all these 150 crore people to think outside of the box and try to solve problems of other people. That's the thing.
Okay, so what another level of thinking you possess. That was so wonderful to listen all of this. So, team, please proceed with your other questions.
Hello, sir. I'd like to ask, how do you think will solar panels can affect future technologies, and will you be willing to integrate this energy to your projects?
So let me tell you, not only I will integrate. Recently, we have built a new office, but we are running on a office for last 3 years. So that whole office was getting run on solar panel, right? So for the time being, we cannot directly integrate our appliances with the solar panel. But what we can do, we can contribute to the grid of the electric office, and we can adjust with the electric bill how much electricity we are contributing through our solar panels. So our whole office was getting run on solar panels, right? So because you have to understand one thing, we have to take examples from the previous things, right? And if we cannot come up with this kind of things, solar panel, wind energy, free energy, all this kind of stuff, these are the future of energy. We cannot sustain with petroleum, we cannot sustain with petrol, diesel, and all this kind of stuff, because this is a reservoir. If you have a, if you have a option to get water from a river, and if you have an option to get a water from a pattern tank of 500 liter or something like that, what you will choose? We obviously need to choose the river for a infinite source of water, because it's flowing constantly, right? So in that regard, solar panel is the future, wind energy is the future, water energy is the future. And not only all these things, we have to think about other terms as well. Like, there are few people who are cultivating water from thin air, who are cultivating rainwaters, who are cultivating the flow of stream to create generate energy through different kind of components or something like certain things like that. So these kind of things where we are actually utilizing nature, because you have to understand that we have not created any technology so far. We discover, we research means it is already existing. We are trying to find out the pattern to integrate that thing in our life, right? For example, in our robotics, we use a sensor called ultrasonic sensor, right, which used to detect the obstacles, detect the distance of different kind of things, right? Now, from where we got this sensor, we all know about bats, right? Bat cannot see, but still they can fly, they can understand their surroundings and all those kind of stuff with ultrasonic waves, and they can create a 3D mapping using those ultrasonic waves. So we have understood that thing, we have done the research, not search, research. We have again searched about it, that how we can cultivate a electronics component which can work like the biological sensors of a bat, and we have came up with the ultrasonic sensor, right? So in that way, wherever you are using technology to cultivate energy or anything directly from the nature, that is the future of technology, and that's why thinking and lab is there. We are trying to find out all these kind of algorithms from where we can actually create things that is actually replicate of the nature, otherwise we cannot sustain, right? So that's the thing.
Thank you, sir. That was really some great answer that you just explained to us. Our other team member, Dhruv, if I'm audible to you, he had some question for you as well.
Okay.
Please
So,
proceed.
first of all, good evening, sir.
Yeah,
And yeah, your previous answers, I have noticed a pattern there that it's all about learning from the nature, right?
absolutely.
It's all about learning from the nature because I guess Mother Earth is our biggest teacher if we think about it. And whenever on the earth, if there is a problem, so Mother Earth itself give us the solution. So, sir, my question is, how can AI robotics improve the efficiency and maintenance of solar panels?
Fantastic question. So there are lots of places we can integrate robotics and AI. I am giving a very small example. Like, the sun and the beams of the sun is not always at a same place, right? Because the sun and the earth, whole thing is moving around, right? Now, if we want to get 100% efficiency from a solar panel, we always need to get the solar beams at 90 degree to the solar panels, and that is the position where we get the maximum amount of energy from the solar panels. Now, if we fix the solar panel in a particular inclination, we cannot get 100% efficiency throughout the day, right? Now, if you put the solar panels on top of a motor, and there is a certain kind of light sensor or certain kind of things which is actually tracking the inclination of the solar beams, and you are changing the inclination of the solar panel according to that, you can actually get 100% efficiency of your solar panel throughout the day. That is the first thing. Second thing, If you do a GIS remote sensing of the places where you are trying to put the solar panels or the solar grids or the solar farm or something like that, and try to understand that which is the best place where you can put up the solar panels, where you can get the 100% efficiency, that is also helping you to understand and like locating the places where you can place these things. Third thing, through the efficiency data of your solar panels, you can find patterns through which you can increase the efficiency through AI, right? So this AI robotics, these are not separate technologies, these are enhancing technologies. For example, when IT came, people thought IT is a separate technology. But in the due course of the progress of IT, we have all understood that IT is an enhancing technology which is helping every other sector to enhance their performance, right? So this AI and robotics is same. They are helping every other sectors to incorporate its principles to enhance and optimize the performance of its devices. So in the same regard, AI and robotics can be used in the solar energy and solar technology to enhance and optimize the performance of the solar panels.
Yeah, so like it will make it more efficient and like more optimized.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much for your answer. So, I'd like to put on the next question. Sir, you have played a key role in social causes like preventing suicides through your talks. How do you think raising awareness about sustainable living, including solar energy, could improve mental well-being and quality of life in urban and rural communities?
This is a fantastic question, and I truly relate with this thing. And I am actually these are the principles of my life, that why I'm doing entrepreneurship, not doing a job. I had so many opportunities to go and so many monies to get, but I still doing my startup because of these things. Like mental well-being is too much dependent on the sustainable living of people, right? Because stress is the reason of 67% diseases today, and the main reason of stress that you are not earning enough to pay the bills, as simple as that, right? Now we are the only we are the most intelligent animal being in this world, and we are the only species of animals who have to pay money to live in this world. There is no other species who have to pay money to live in this world, right? So we have to pay for the water, we have to pay for the electricity, we have to pay for the food, we have to pay for living, right? So that's too much illogical to me. So solar panel is the first step. Maybe you cannot get free food today, you cannot get free water today, but with this solar panel, with an initial investment, you can get lifelong free energy, right? Like if we get something directly from the nature, who are these middlemen whom we have to pay the taxes? It's not logical, it makes no sense that if I can get the energy directly from sun, then who are you? You have not created sun. Sun is not under your jurisdiction. Then why you should collect taxes, right? If I am creating my own infrastructure from where I can get the electricity that I need to run my home, then I don't need to pay the bills, right? So in that regard, sustainable technologies including solar panel, wind turbines, and all this kind of stuff is highly efficient to create a sustainable lifestyle and help the middle class people, lower middle class people, to get a sustainable lifestyle. Though I know, you also know, that government will come up with the principles through which they have to collect the taxes even for this kind of sustainable technologies, but that would be very much negligible rather than the electricity bill we are paying today, right? So in that regard, these kind of things are very important. A- Another thing is, even if government is collecting money, getting the taxes, still they also know they cannot go with this coal energy, petroleum energy for lifelong, because it's a very restricted resource. We cannot get it, we cannot create it, right? So in that regard, they are also looking for this kind of sustainable ways, so that, because if people are not alive, there is no government. We form the government, right? So if people are not getting energy, even if paying the money, they cannot live, they cannot sustain, right? So they are also looking for this kind of things. So in that regard, these particular technologies are playing a crucial role in sustainable living.
Yes, sir. That was a great answer, sir. I have one more question. Not question, but I want to take a suggestion. Like, we are working on a project with our theme as solar energy and sustainable energy, and we have many challenges in this project. Like, would you give us some advice or tips so that we can complete this challenge successfully?
If you are working in the energy sector, always try to figure out a business model which is B2G and B2B. B2G means business to government, and B2B means business to business, right? Because this energy sector is a one of the prime revenue making sector for the government and for the businesses who are dealing in this thing, right? And as because you are a startup, we are very small entity in front of them. So if you are not having a plan in your business model to collaborate with them, they will not let you survive. As simple as that, right? It's not right, but it's the reality, right? So if you have an idea with the solar panel, with the sustainable technologies, your business model needs to be something related to B2G and B2B rather than B2C. Then only you can sustain and you can create a corporation. After creating a corporation, you can go to B2C or something like that. But for the beginning, you have to understand that how you can get government projects, government grants, business projects, CSR activities, and all those kind of stuff. Suppose the government wants to get electricity in certain places where all this wire based electricity or something like that cannot reach, right? Because of the infrastructure or something like that. So you have to get these deals from the government and become a partner of the government to set up all this kind of places, right? So that you can actually get the money, create the infrastructure, and when you are becoming a bigger, rather like in the scale of government or bigger than that, then you can think about the B2C, directly consumers or something like that. That's my suggestion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this answer. And sir, we have also created one petition for this particularly project. And would you like to sign us for that?
Yeah, send me that thing, I will go through it. If it's completely to my norms and all those kind of stuff, I will obviously sign.
Okay, sir. We will send you.
Sure.
Okay, so I guess Priya isn't there. My apologies, sir. On her behalf, I will ask the question. Sir, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sir, I wanted to know that if we are using solar energy or the sustainable energy, so what do you think is one of the like fastest way to adapt it? Because at this like period, like we have seen that there are so many peoples who do not want to, like change or who don't want to adapt. So yeah, that was my doubt.
So awareness is the only way to let people adapt new things. Like you are a innovator, I am an innovator, we can think of new things, we can think of a change, but 99% people fear the change. That's why they fear to change the job, that's why they fear to change the city, that's why they fear to change the locality. They fear change, and it is a human psychology. They are comfortable with their surroundings, whatever they have, right? So before, and that's why I said that you have to go for B2G and B2B, because when you are going for B2G and B2B, this government and the businesses are taking care of awareing people that you need it, and they have enough kind of funds to aware the people. Awareness is a very expensive step in any business, right? And that's why in every business, every new age entrepreneur always try to create a brand in a category that has already been created, right? Because if you want to create a category, at first you have to aware the people about the category, then you have to aware the people about the problem, then you have to tell them that I have the solutions, you can buy from me, right? But that requires lots of money and investment to do, right? So that's why if you are going for the government, like for example, I was giving an example that in the Sundarban area, so in West Bengal we have a mangrove area where it's very down standard lifestyle of people. They don't have proper electricity, proper water, or something like that, and government always try to do certain things for them, right? For their own interest itself. But the thing is, they try to do. Now if you are collaborating with governments, and if government is giving you a tender that you have to go to this place and you have to give electricity to these 200 families or something like that, at that point of time you don't need to convince the people because government is doing it, right? So this is a very smart strategy, that you have to outsource the awareing part to the government and businesses for the initial days, until and unless you can get the enough funds to do it by your own self for your brand.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I also have one more doubt. Since our theme is on solar panels, so I wanted to know because there are some people who think that solar panels or like things like this, okay, which are actually good for our planet, but they think that these things also produce e-waste, and which is like really harmful to our environment. So like, what are your thoughts on this?
See, everything comes with pros and cons. Obviously, if you're creating something artificially, like if you can come up with a technology which can use trees and their leaves to get the solar energy, it's sounds very sci-fi, but at certain point of time we will reach that position that where we don't need to create solar panels, because we already have so many solar panels around us. Those are the trees, right? They are actually using this solar energy to create their foods and all those kind of stuff. But until and unless we can reach that position, we have to eventually create artificial solar panels. Now if you're creating something artificial, that comes up with this residue, right? Like I am building robots, that also comes up with residues. People are building sensors, that also comes up with residues. People are building, like we all talking about EVs, right? So I have done my postgraduate diploma on intellectual property rights and technology business management, right? And there is a subject called technology business management where we have to learn about the innovation. Now, innovation means exploitation of certain resources. If the resources are not getting exploited, innovation cannot happen. For example, suppose you are building up a battery, that I will create EV cars and I will create sustainable technologies. So I have to build batteries. For battery, I need lithium. For lithium, I have to go to a mine and I have to mine the lithium. So I am exploiting the lithium mine. Then only I can build up the batteries. So innovation comes at exploitation of certain resources. It is from the definition. If you think that I will not exploit any resource and I can build up new thing, that is quite like impossible to do, right? So in that regard, all innovations come up with pros and cons. And for solar panels, there is a cons that we are generating e-waste. So we have to come up with the idea that how we can process this e-waste so that it can become don't become a bigger problem, bigger pollution or something like that. But if you think that I can come up with zero e-waste with solar panels, that is not possible until unless we are understanding how to directly cultivate this energy from the nature without getting a device in between.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer and
Yeah.
for your insights.
Um, so
Sir,
I'd like to ask a question. How has been your journey till now? Can you tell us a little bit about the ups and downs that you faced during this journey?
Like today's session is very short for the whole journey because it's a 10 years journey, right? Till it's a journey, because I like no entrepreneur has been successful till they die, right? Because there is no end. Like there is no end. You are starting with solar panels, right? Even if you have installed solar panel to 1 crore people, still that's not the end, that's not success. because there are lots of more things to do, right? So a entrepreneur's life, entrepreneur never has seen success. Neither Ratan Tata, neither Steve Jobs, nobody has seen success. And this mentality actually make them entrepreneurs, because they always look for new things, right? But if you talk about the ups and downs of my life, the entrepreneurship life is full of ups and downs. I have slept on the roads. I have days where I don't have money to eat. I have days where I have heard so many hard words from my close people because I didn't have the money to pay them back. So there are lots of things happened in my life and still happening, because as an entrepreneur you have to take risk every day. Like you have right now 10,000 in your pocket, so you can take a risk of 15,000. I have 10 lakhs in my pocket, so I can take a risk of 20 lakhs. Mukesh Ambani has 2 lakh crore in their pocket, so they can get 2 lakh 50,000 crore risk in their life, right? So as an entrepreneur, it's all about taking risk, and when you are taking risk, we never know whether the result will be ups or downs, right? So as an entrepreneur, you need to understand one thing, that failure is not the opposite word of success. That's the first thing we have learned the wrong in a wrong way in schools, that failure is the opposite word of success, but it's not. Failure is the integral part of success. So if I am going from Kolkata to your Dibrugarh or Assam, right? So in the way, in the path, I will see different milestones. That Dibrugarh is 500 kilometers, 1000 kilometers, 400 kilometers, and when I reach the Dibrugarh, it will be said that Dibrugarh is 0 kilometer, right? So these milestones are the failures. And if you don't cross this milestone, you can never reach Dibrugarh or the success, right? So as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that failure is the integral part of success. All the failures you are getting till you get the final result that you are looking for, all these failures actually contributing to your success. The only thing that is opposite of success, that is giving up. If I am reaching 500 kilometers and I am seeing that Dibrugarh is till 1,000 kilometers and I am quitting the journey, that is the end of the success, but not the failures, right? So the ups and downs is a very integral part of entrepreneurship, and not only entrepreneurship, even if you are going for job, you are taking any careers, life is all about ups and downs. Because if you see the ECG curve, if you see there is a ups and downs, the man is alive. If it's a flat, the man is died, right? So the life is all about ups and downs, and we have to take it in that way only.
So everything you said was so inspiring and so motivational. I'm really moved as well as my team members, I'm sure. At last, I'd like to ask you if you want to say anything to us before we wrap up this session, because we are almost done with the time we had in our hand.
Okay. So be
So
very
please.
clear about your numbers while you're pitching. Do complete market research. Even if you are not selling your product, still you have to have all the data. Who are your competitors, whom they are selling, at what cost they are selling, how you are different from them. So you have to be the writer of your story. Nobody else should be more knowledgeable about your story, right? So if you can do that, you can win the competition, because investors look for this confidence. Because the people who are going to judge you, they are not the expert in solar panels, right? They're expert in business, they're expert in startups, right? And they look for the people who have the confidence and the data points of their own business. So you have to be the king in the room, and then you can actually get the throne, right? So that's the thing.
Sir, thank you so much for the time that you gave us. And it was really very inspirational, very nice to hear all those things from you. And we are just so glad to have you with us. Thank you so much. So, thank you. And I'd also like to thank all the viewers that were with us through the live stream. And thank you, team. Uh, let's wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. All the best.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye.